just over a month before the Switch was launched, I had the chance to go to Toronto to try out the Nintendo Switch before it was released, and the first game I played upon entering this event was Splatoon 2, and that game was everything I wanted it to be. Once again, Splatoon 2 features the typical multiplayer goodness you're used to, as well as a brand new single-player campaign with its levels and bosses. Later down the line, a super cool DLC was released called the Octo Expansion, bringing even more single-player levels and more bosses. Well, today we'll be looking at all of the bosses from this game and the DLC, and we'll be ranking them from worst to best based on how fun and original they are. Alright guys, let's go! Splatoon is known for having ridiculous bosses, and the Octo Samurai just brings this to a whole new level. First off, can we take a moment to appreciate the fact that we are actually fighting a living enemy and not some sort of weird robot like Splatoon 1 bosses were? This samurai looking dude actually moves around the arena on a unicycle. Yup, a dude that big on a bike that tiny. Hey, that's something. This boss holds a giant roller in his hands and will attack you by trying to splat you with it. He also has this epic attack where he turns his unicycle into a motorcycle and tries to run you over. Wow. Octo Samurai doesn't have any special armor or any way to defeat him. You actually just need to shoot ink at his body until he explodes and reveals his tentacle weak point. Bosses in the Splatoon series typically all have 3 phases, with each phase being slightly more difficult than the previous one. For phase 2 and 3, Octo Samurai will develop new ways to attack you, like a super high jump attack or this epic spin attack. It is an easy boss but a fun fight. Without spoiling the plot for the Octo Expansion, some good people are actually being controlled and forced into doing bad things, and this is the case with Agent 3, who's supposed to be the character you were playing as back in Splatoon 1. Well, now you have to face her off in a pretty normal squid battle, and that's why I don't think this fight is really that fun. Agent 3 will use normal weapons to attack you, as well as some special attacks like the hamster ball or this falcon punch move. Every time you splat her, she'll retreat to her flying saucer and come back with another move. Look, if I wanted to splat more Inklings, I'd play the online mode, okay? Not the single player campaign. Do you smell that? I think it's time for you to take a shower. An Octo Shower! Woohoo! Okay, all bad jokes aside, this weird boss is some sort of weird weapon being carried around by a couple of flying Octolings. It will shoot missiles, try to snipe you with lasers, and what you'll want to do here is to find a way to hit the Octolings carrying him around. Thankfully, the battle arena contains rails you can slide on, bouncing cushions you can jump on, and all sorts of other ways to attack these guys. Once you defeat all of those Octolings, Octo Shower will be left alone on the floor, and you'll be able to shoot its weak point. Phase 2 and 3 will feature 4 flying Octolings to defeat instead of 3, but Octo Shower will also use more attacks to try to splat you, like a laser that goes through the walls, or its signature shower move that is very dangerous if you don't move to safety. Thankfully, this boss is quite easy to defeat. Now that we have taken a good Octo Shower, I'm kind of starving. Would you like to eat something? Because this is exactly what this next boss, Octo Oven, can do for us. Yup, we are fighting a toaster oven now. I told you bosses in Splatoon were ridiculous. Octo Oven will try to attack you with the bread it has inside of it, so you'll want to avoid them at all costs. Eventually, the bread will stay out of the oven and will give you time to jump on top of them and reach the top of this oven and shoot the infamous tentacle weak point. Phase 2 will introduce those big vertical paint rollers that spin very fast, so you'll want to dodge them for sure. And Phase 3 will introduce some kind of glazing machine that can be really dangerous if you're not paying attention. Quickly move out of its way and you'll soon be able to climb back on the bread and defeat this boss once and for all. He's toasted. Get it? No? Okay, let's move on. The Octo Expansion was very different from the original single-player campaign, having lots of different challenges to overtake, and even the final boss of this DLC was a very original idea. Instead of, fighting a traditional boss, you actually have to ink a giant statue before it shoots its lasers at Nicobbq and destroys the entire world. To do so, you have 3 minutes to shoot some ink bombs that are being sent by Marina. In a way, this is a new take on the traditional turf war game mode, but instead of inking the battlefield while destroying another team, you just move on rails and destroy ink bombs. And while being super original, I can say I had a lot of fun with that one. It felt like a chore to me, and I had to retry it many times, simply because I sometimes forgot one bomb on the back of the statue and I didn't just have time to go back and get it. Eventually, I made it, sure, but it was more frustrating than fun to me. A lot of bosses in the Octo Expansion are reimagined versions of previous bosses, and this next one is the Octo Shower Supreme. Technically, it is the exact same thing as Octo Shower, with the little flying octolings that you have to splat, except this time you're forced to fight him using a jetpack at all times. You'd think that this would make your life easier, but it doesn't, trust me. In fact, avoiding the homing missiles, the super fast shower attack, and the ink Gatling guns are made much harder by not being fully in control of your character. Thankfully, if you're being careful and if you're a little bit lucky, you'll beat this supreme version without any major issue. Splatoon 1 had this Octo Stomp dude who was just a dumb stamp looking thing that tried to stamp you to death, but it was really easy to defeat. Well, would you look at that, this dude makes a comeback in Splatoon 2. His first phase is just as easy as it previously was, with you having to simply move left or right to dodge his attacks to then climb up its sides and attack the tentacle thing. But this dude learned new tricks since the first game. For phase 2, Neo Octo Stomp will now protect himself with some sort of cushion-like jacket that cannot be inked. He'll also attack you with a machine gun that he now has on top of his head, and he will now charge at you super fast. You'll have to shoot the little straps on his face to get rid of the cushion protection, and then you'll be able to attack him like you did in phase 1. For phase 3, he will now grow 2 more faces, and now he's actually quite dangerous. Avoiding all of those faces is quite the thing when he's charging at you really fast. Once again, you'll need to shoot the strap on his nose to expose his weak point, but it is easier said than done. Octo Oven XXL is the harder version of the Octo Oven fight from earlier. There's also Octolings living on top of the oven now, and these guys keep shooting ink balls at you. Make sure to defeat them quickly, or else that battle arena will be covered with enemy ink that makes you super slow. For phase 2, the ink rollers will make a comeback, and now Octo Oven XXL will have sprinklers on its sides, as well as new enemies on top of it. Phase 3 will bring back the glazing machine from before, but will now combine it with sniper enemies, sprinklers, ink walls, and enemies on top of it. Yeah, climbing this oven is no simple task with everything that's going on all at once. You'll definitely want to take care of the ink walls and sprinklers as fast as you can to truly focus on climbing and attacking the tentacle. It is really difficult, yet so fun and satisfying. Man, Octo Stomp really doesn't want to give up. The Redux version of this classic boss makes a comeback in the Octo Expansion and starts off with his protection right away. It is also very solid and can't be destroyed as easily as it did before. Phase 2 will bring back the machine gun attack, as well as 3 straps of protection this time around. Oh, and did I mention ink bubbles that can explode in your face at any time? Yeah, my dude is going ham with the different weapons and attacks. Getting rid of the side straps is very tedious, as you have to wait for Octo Stomp to do his faceplant attack, and only then will you be able to shoot them out. Phase 3 brings back the triple face Octo Stomp. But you know, the fact that all 3 straps are now directly in front of you actually makes it easier than phase 2 in my opinion. I do admit that 3 Octo Stone faces, each shooting 2 bubbles, is a little bit overwhelming, but yeah, it's kind of easy. The Revenge of the Octo Samurai is a pretty fun fight, and it's all thanks to the weapon you have to fight him with. Gone are the days of using a gun or bombs. Now you actually have to fight him in the hamster ball thing. The fun part about this fight is that the arena doesn't have a fence around it everywhere now. So when you get attacked by Octo Samurai, you get sent flying back really far, and obviously most of the time you will end up falling down and dying. RIP. See, that's the fun part about this boss. If you want to inflict some damage, you have to approach him, but by doing that, you become vulnerable to all of his attacks. It is a very tense and stressful fight, especially when you only have 1 life left and he's about to explode and you have to decide if you're going all in or if you're playing it safe. Seriously though, what a fun boss fight. Let's be real, you can't have a Splatoon game without my boy DJ Octavio. This dude is back in Splatoon 2 and will once again attack you with many attacks like his Falcon punches and his bombs and other weapons. He will also bring new attacks to the table, like those calamari bombs that turn into spitting vortexes of ink, or this new punching drill attack that you absolutely have to avoid. To defeat Octavio, you'll have to shoot his fists to send them back flying into his face. Watch out for his shower attack when he's moving around though, as this one is very dangerous. Eventually, Octavio will fall off his ship, allowing you to hurt him bad, and later down the fight, Mary will MLG 360 no-scope shoot Callie and save her. Meaning you'll now be given the epic Rainmaker to finish the fight once and for all. This final phase will take place in the sky, with you sliding on rails and dodging Octavio's punches. Don't let your guard down though, as the punches are still pretty dangerous. Man, I really want DJ Octavio to come back in Splatoon 3. This dude is just so fun. Hey, thanks a lot for watching this video, my dudes. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to subscribe and to hit the bell to make sure not to miss a single upload from me, and hit that like button to support me. If you want to get your name in the credits like these amazing guys, consider joining Team BBQ, the best team in the world, by hitting the join button down below or clicking the link in the description. Tap the cards on screen right now for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.